Welcome back to Darkest Echoes, where nightmares echo louder in silence. Tonight, I'll tell you a story I wish I could forget, because no matter how long it's been, I still hear it breathing. I used to work night shifts as a security guard. Nothing glamorous. Just an aging guy watching older buildings. In 2020, I took a job at St. Mary's Hospital, which had recently closed down due to budget cuts. They kept the old morgue open temporarily while they transferred medical records and, yes, bodies. My job? Sit in the main hall from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. and make sure no one entered the morgue. The pay was suspiciously high for what they said was light duty. I didn't ask questions. My first night, the building was freezing. Not just cold, wrong. Like the air itself didn't want to be breathed in. I had 2 cameras to monitor. One faced the hallway to the morgue's entrance. The other showed the inside of the refrigeration unit. Yes, inside. There were still 5 body drawers occupied. I was told, no one's coming to get them till Friday. Just sit tight. Easy enough. Or so I thought. On night 2, something strange happened. At 2:13 a.m., I heard a loud clang from the camera feed. The mic was low quality, but it sounded like metal slamming against metal. I looked up at the feed inside the refrigeration unit. Drawer 3 had pulled itself open by about 6 inches. At first, I thought maybe it hadn't been fully shut. But when I checked the feed an hour later, it was fully closed again. The next night, it happened again. 2:13 a.m. Same drawer. I radioed the site manager. He told me, ignore it. Those units shift sometimes. The body's under a sheet and sealed. Just a drawer. But the following night, it wasn't just the drawer. Something was moving under the sheet. I stared at the grainy feed, hoping it was a glitch. But the shape under the sheet lifted, arched, like a bridge. No arms. No legs. Just the torso rising. Then it dropped flat, and the camera cut out for 7 minutes. On night 4, I came prepared. I brought a small handheld recorder and started logging every hour. Everything was quiet until 3:27 a.m. I stepped outside to stretch my legs and smoke a cigarette. That's when I heard it. A clicking sound, like bones tapping glass. Repeatedly, I leaned closer to the window that overlooked the morgue corridor. The lights inside were flickering. I recorded it. Listened back. There was something else under the clicks. A whisper. When slowed down, it almost sounded like, let me finish waking up. I went digging. There was a small records office beside the control room. Old VHS tapes of previous surveillance. I knew I wasn't supposed to mess with it, but curiosity overrode fear. I watched a tape labeled November 7th, 2018. At 2:13 a.m., the exact same time I'd seen Drawer 3 shift, a nurse entered the morgue. She checked the bodies. Standard stuff. But when she opened Drawer 3, she screamed and backed away. The body was sitting upright, staring. Then, just as the camera glitched, it lunged off the drawer. Arms bent the wrong way. Mouth unhinged like it was trying to vomit air. I checked the hospital records. That nurse? She vanished 2 days later. No investigation. Just a note in the log. Unexplained absence. No follow-up. The next 2 nights, I tried to act like nothing was wrong. I stopped watching the inside camera. But on night 7, I fell asleep at my desk. I woke up gasping. Someone or something was breathing in my ear. The door to the hallway was ajar. The corridor camera had shut off. I forced myself to get up and check it out. Each step felt wrong, like the air around the morgue was pushing me back. When I got to the morgue door, it was open, and Drawer 3 was fully extended. Empty. The sheet was on the floor. There were long, wet footprints, leading out, but not toward me. They led toward the ceiling. I wanted to quit. I tried, but I needed the money. Final night shift, I stayed up the entire time. No cameras. No distractions. 3:13 a.m. The hallway lights shut off. Then slow dragging sounds, like skin being pulled across linoleum. I backed into the control room. I heard something wet hit the door. Then, why are you watching if you're not going to help? The voice came from under the desk. I dropped to the floor with my flashlight. Nothing. When I stood back up, every drawer on the feed was open. Drawer 3 wasn't just open, it was pulled all the way out. Bent. Twisted. Inside was a shape, curled in a way no body should be. Its head turned. It looked at me through the camera. Its mouth moved. But the words came from behind me. It was never dead. Just patient. I don't work nights anymore. I don't sleep much, either. I keep all my lights on. I sealed every vent. Sometimes I still hear clicking from the walls. And sometimes, I wake up with the sheets pulled halfway off the bed, like something crawled out and left me behind. Drawer 3 is still out there, still open, waiting. And whatever was inside it knows my name. Low and chilling. If you enjoyed this story, hit subscribe and let the darkness in. Because on Darkest Echoes, what's dead doesn't always stay that way.